Church in Scottsdale. We're so excited to be here. This is a Christian church, and we're here with our World Religions class from Chandler Gilbert Community College. And come and join us as we experience a non-denominational Christian service.
God made us, men and women, both in His image. When God made man, He imprinted man with His...
So the first question is, where do Christians believe we come from?
Well, we believe that humanity is the product of a special creation. Our belief is that a loving God creator intentionally created humanity. The Bible begins with these words, in the beginning God. And as you work your way through Genesis 1 and 2, you discover that God created humanity, male and female, in His image. And so our belief is that we are intentionally designed. We're not simply the product of random selection. Somebody said several years ago that the odds of spontaneous generation having formed everything around us are probably slightly less than a tornado blowing through a junkyard, leaving behind a fully assembled 747. So that's what we believe.
What do you believe our purpose is here on earth?
I believe, very simply put, our purpose, first and foremost, is to be loved by God. To be loved by God. It's slightly different than religion teaches. I was taught as a child growing up in a religious environment that man was created to love God. And then I discovered this verse in the Bible that says we love Him because He first loved us. And so the center of my belief shifted from my believing that I exist to love God to the belief that I exist to be loved by God. Again, my belief is that God as creator is also that He is Father. And this Father in the beginning, who created the heavens and the world and all that dwells therein, had so much love brimming in His heart that He wouldn't live in solitude alone with that. But He created man as the object of His affection, created man to be loved. So I think foremost we are created to be loved. I think God put secondary purposes in us. We would call them gifts and talents and unique abilities. The students here have different paths they're pursuing in life, and I would bet that in a survey of many of them, there would be some who would say, I don't know why I'm drawn toward that field, but I am. I feel I want to be a part in that. And so we think that in our hearts God puts gifts, and those gifts and talents and abilities lead us in a certain direction, and that direction ultimately should be to the betterment of our world. So our purpose, first, to be loved by God, second, to love God in return, and third, to use the gifts that He's given us to wisely steward the planet. Not to abuse it, but to care for it, to love it, to steward it, and to keep it in a state that reflects God's ultimate intention for it, which is goodness and grace.
Okay. And then that leads me to my next question. What do Christians believe happens to us when we die?
There is a place of peace and rest and purpose and fulfillment for those who have made right choices, with the primary choice being the gift of salvation through Jesus. There also is a place of justice and judgment for those who have rejected that, or maybe who have done evil toward others in this lifetime. So a place of heaven and hell is a part of the scriptural teaching.
And lastly, in our global community, as the internet and technology allows us to communicate with people and learn about people that we didn't even know existed or didn't, we can understand them better, we can look at their religions, we can look at all these things. What does Christianity have to offer in bringing about peace and unity in this global community?
Biblical Christianity is summed up by the word love. We receive the love of Christ, so we have love to give away. And if we're loving people, we love people not because they deserve it. So if they're unlike us, if other religions don't believe like us, I mean, our response should be to love them.
Absolutely.
And we should love them and care for them and help them and listen to them and interact with them and to live at peace with them as much as is possible because of that word love.